Hey everyone, welcome back to Empower Autism. Today we are going to be talking about picky eaters and food aversion. And this is a really big problem in the autism community. There are a lot of individuals that are picky eaters. They only eat certain types of foods. They'll only eat specific foods at certain types of day, or if they're in a certain location, they'll only eat a certain type of food. Um, so we really want to expand the palates of these individuals. We want to expand what they're eating. We want to give them a balanced diet. This is different than kids that eat too much or eat just everything. And that we'll talk about in a different episode. But for today and in this series, we're really going to be talking about expanding the palate of individuals with autism. And this is a really important thing to do, right? We've talked about in our exercise series the different health risks associated with autism, right? Kids with autism are 41% more likely to develop obesity. They're 57% higher risk of developing diabetes and a 46% higher rate of developing heart disease, right? These are serious conditions. Higher obesity, higher diabetes, higher heart disease. The autism diagnosis does not come with a lower life expectancy just in the diagnosis, right? This is in the lack of exercising. This is in the lack of balanced nutrition that we are putting these kids at risk. So, this is a really important issue. We cannot have kids eating the same thing every day. We need them to be eating vegetables, fruits, proteins, carbs. It doesn't, whatever the aversion is, we need to have a balanced diet here, right? And why do individuals with autism have these aversions, are so picky? And it could be for a few reasons, right? The first is that kids with autism have a lot of sensory issues, so there could be problems with texture. They might not like how something feels in their hands, how something feels in their mouth. That could be a big problem for them. They also might not like how something smells. It could be very off-putting, even though to you it might smell fine, fantastic, it smells so good. To them, it could be something that is very unsettling. It could also be that they don't like foods touching, right? So now, if we're talking about a cheeseburger, which sounds fantastic, maybe they don't like that there's a patty, cheese, buns, pickles, ketchup, all these components in one that are in one bite. That might be very unsettling for them, right? Or even just foods touching on their plate could be difficult for them to process or to get through. Lastly, and probably most important, is that the autism diagnosis is repetitive and rigid behaviors, right? So kids get used to, or part of their routine is eating the same foods every day, right? On Monday, they eat a hot dog. So on Tuesday, they get a hot dog. And now they're asking for a hot dog, and you want to give them what they eat. So they get it on Wednesday. And now it's building into their routine. Now hot dogs are what they're going to eat, right? And now it's going to be hard to expand that palate because we have built that into their routine. And they have rigid behaviors. It's hard. It's difficult to get them out of these routines. This is part of the diagnosis. But today we're going to talk about a bunch of techniques that we can use that can expand the palate. A bunch of techniques that are going to reduce the pickiness of eaters, and hopefully it works out. Again, if we are talking about diet, it is important that you consult your doctor, right? Make sure there's a reason. There's no reason that the individual is not eating certain foods. We want to know their allergies before we start expanding their foods. So it's important to talk to your doctor. But today we're going to talk about graduated exposure. We're going to talk about mixing foods together. We're going to talk about reinforcement. I really hope you stick with us. If you're following on Instagram or YouTube, please come to the website, check us out. We have a lot of information. Hope to see you soon.